Hi everyone. In this screencast, I'm going to show you a way of using the photographic characters in Storyline, whereby we can get it to react to a question that we've asked. So in this case, I've kept it simple. A simple question of who is this character, and I have two options. If I choose Christy, the character changes, but if I choose the right answer, Atsumi, she changes again. So I'm going to show you how I set that up. So I'll close the preview down, and I've got another slide built here with the elements on it that I need, just with nothing else, so I can show you how to make this work. Now when I clicked on either of the buttons and the photographic character change, I actually did that using different states. So if I click on Atsumi and I go to the states area, and I'll just pop mine out so that you can see it, I have a normal state for Atsumi. But I want to create two more states so that when I click on the button, I can have a change to either of those states. So to do that, I'll click on the Edit States button, and then this little symbol that looks like a page with the corner turned over to create a new state. Then I'll just need to name my state. So I'm just going to call this one, the first one, the Christie state, and then I'll add it. And when you add a new state to an object, you get a duplicate of the normal state, and then whatever state has the blue background behind it is the state that you're working on. So I'm still working on the Christie state, but at the moment it looks the same, so I need to change it to make it look different. So if you look at the top here, because the Atsumi character is still selected on the screen, I get these additional tabs appearing. So if I go to the Design tab under Character Tools, I can come back over to the left here and click on the Pose button, and I can select from all those poses that are in Storyline a new pose for my photographic character. So I just came down till I found one. Now because this is going to be for when the person answers the question incorrectly, I needed to find one that has a picture of Atsumi looking disappointed that you've picked the right answer, and I'll choose this one here. And then I'll insert it. And what that does, it changes the image from the original to this new image now of Christie. So I'm going to do that same thing again to create a new state. This time I'm going to call it the Atsumi state, and this is going to be if the person chooses the correct answer. So again, I've got a duplicate of the normal state, but I can go to the Design tab and Pose, and this time because it's the right answer, or it's going to be used for the right answer, I'll find a picture of her looking happy, and that one will be fine, and I'll insert it in. So now I've got three different versions of Atsumi, so I can say done. So I've got the normal state, how she's on the screen. When I click the Christie button, she'll become that, and when I click the Atsumi button, she'll look like that. So I'm going to put my states panel back in, and to make it actually work, all I need to do is add some triggers. So if over in the trigger panel, I'll create a new trigger, and my trigger is going to be that I want to change the state of my Atsumi character to the state of Christie when the user clicks something and clicks on the Christie button. So this is probably also an example of when naming things in the timeline is handy when you start having a few objects that are interacting with one another. So change the state of Atsumi to Christie when the user clicks the Christie button, and OK. And then I'll add a second trigger to say change the state of Atsumi to the Atsumi state when the user clicks the Atsumi button. One thing to note is that when I do the to state, I have these couple of custom states. So these are the two states that I have created. So if you create more than that, you'll see them all listed here. And then say OK again. So now when I click on each of those buttons, she should change state. So let's preview out this slide and check it out, see if that's happening. Yes, that's working. That's working as well. So I can flick between and you can see her change. Now the only thing I've noticed is you do get the effect. She is reacting to what you're saying, but there is kind of a bit of movement between the different states because the Atsumi picture is slightly smaller and it's a little bit different. So if you wanted to tidy that up, what you can do is close the preview down and click on Atsumi and go back to the states area. Now, without even editing the states, if you just hover over the states, the Christie to normal's not too bad, but say the Christie to, there's a bit of a jump, and certainly from the normal, there's a bit of a jump as well. So what you could do, and it's probably being a little bit picky, but edit the states and edit your Itsumi state, and maybe just shuffle her, move her over a little bit to the left, and maybe make the picture a little bit bigger, so that when you flick between, maybe there's not as much movement. Now, it's something that you could just play around with till you get it right, but that could help. You probably never get it really perfect, but that gets it pretty close. So that's it for this screencast, how to make the photographic character react, and just done by creating some additional states for the character, and then just triggering buttons or objects to change the initial picture of them to the new state versions that you've created. See you next time.